So good morning, Freedom Team. Hope everybody had a
Good
wonderful
morning.
weekend. Good morning, good morning. As always, Monday mornings here. It is July 27th, and we're always reaching out and trying to find some of the best attractors out there that we can bring in that can help educate you guys. And I would advise each and every one of you today, look for one or two nuggets that Jesse's going to give you. He has had a tremendous amount of success, not only in attraction, but also in production. He's done anything. I'll give you his bio here in a minute, but I want anybody to think about this. If you just had one or two good conversations with agents every week, make that maybe 6 to 8 good conversations a month, and you're providing value, inviting to events, whatever it might be, and you did that consistently, guys, if you just attracted one agent a quarter, we plugged them into our system and helped them cap, that's $16,000 to you. That's $4,000 per agent. Where it can go from there, guys, the sky's the limit. This is all about consistency. So I appreciate everybody getting on here today. I just want you to listen to Jesse and find one or two nuggets, whatever's going to encourage and motivate or inspire you to start taking action with something and do it consistently, the same way you're doing with buyers and sellers. So let me real quickly give you Jesse's background here. Jesse is an out of the box thought leader who empowers agents to scale, expand, and accelerate their business and influence. His mission is to help agents sell more homes and grow their revenue share organizations while creating extraordinary lives. Jesse is obsessed with creating fantastic client experiences and loves optimizing his conversation rates. He currently serves as the National Director of DS Pros, which stands for Default Servicing Professionals, and has a tremendous experience in the foreclosure market. His San Diego based team consistently did $40 million in volume. He began his career in 2004 and has filled most roles in a real estate brokerage. As a national sales trainer and speaker, he's appeared at the NAR annual conference, Inman, and other events. He's the founder of the Agent Collective, which creates engaging original content for real estate agents like Agent Power Huddle. He is also a father, husband, musician, surfer, and was a big triathlete back in the day before his son was born 11 years ago. But man, Jesse, dude, we are so excited to have you here, brother. I see you on all the Zooms. You speak out and you give so much input to the company. Guys, he is just a big influence on the company as well. So we're very blessed to have you here, my friend. Before we maybe jump into all the business, anything else you want to elaborate on just your life, your family, anything else?
Yeah, I want to say this. I'm grateful to be here. I feel blessed to be here with you all, but that bio makes me sound way too impressive. That's written but no, truly, like that bio is written for like if you're getting on stage and want to impress the audience in the context of a revenue share group, like agent attraction training. I feel I mean, I'm looking at some serious faces, and I know you guys are probably happy people, but it's Monday morning. You're like just serious right now. That's okay. No, it's we can start serious. But Sean, I feel like when you read that bio, my fear is that, half the people here or three-quarters of them heard something in my bio. Were like, oh, I didn't do that. I can't build
Yeah,
what he built.
true.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'd rather have you say, Jesse Gorski slept in the trash can last night. And he woke up and he built this organization of over, almost 2,000 people, and like he could barely put a lick of 3 to 4 words together in a sentence. And look what he did. You could do it too, right? I don't know. We can kind of disqualify the myth as we chat today. How about that of why you don't need to have done half the things I've done to build this? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
cool?
That's a good point. Very, very
All right.
good point. And I hopefully everybody knows here as a believer, guys, I had never even sold real estate and began to attract. So you don't have to have. It's almost like I was in a trash can there, Jesse, when I first started.
I,
But
can we just tell real quick, Sean? I mean, I always remember this, but I don't know if you remember this. And I've been on with your crew a couple times before. I don't know if anyone's heard me or seen me talk, but Kelly's nodding her head. By the way, thank you those of you who have your cameras on.
yeah.
Sean is one of the first like attractors at EXP, influencers, organization builders, but I call them group builders, but whatever you call them. Sean was one of the first group builders I ever met at EXP. Like I was at EXP for maybe a month, and I sat down next to you at a conference. Do you remember this, Sean? I don't know if you do. If this story.
I do. I do. I don't remember
Okay.
exactly the conversation, but I do meeting you early on. I remember that.
Well, I remember because I'm sitting next to him, and like I joined EXP. I've been here 8 years. I joined here for revenue share. Raise your hand if like you joined EXP because of revenue share. Okay, two
Okay.
of you. Raise your hand if you joined for something else. Raise your hand if you won't raise your hand no matter what I say. No, I'm just kidding. All right, cool. All right, so I joined for revenue share. Like I heard that call and I knew, I mean, I was selling houses. I ran a team. We can get into all that, but like I'm one of those that joined for revenue share. Some of you that didn't join for revenue share, it doesn't matter. You, right, whatever you join for, you can still build this thing. But I came to an event. I was maybe a month at EXP, maybe, and we sat down, and I looked over, and I started talking to this guy next to me, and it was Sean. And we're just sitting there, like, you just walk through that, just a rant. Like, you guys all know Sean, he's a leader, and like you, but I had no idea who this gentleman was. I just look over him, he's got, he's got an accent on. I don't think I have an accent. He's got an accent, right? We start talking. And and sure enough, a few minutes later, they call everyone up on stage who's built like large size organizations. And they get, 25 people, 50 people, 100 people. And finally they get to whatever the largest group was. And Sean gets up and walks up on stage. And I forget at the time, you might have had, I don't know, 1,000 people, 800 people. I, I,
In that first year,
yeah, no, my first year. So how many years have you been here?
it was 9 years in April. I hit
Okay, so
nine
how
years
many years, how many did you have about a year and a half in?
about a year and a half in, probably 700 maybe.
Okay. So he had about
Approximately.
700 people. And this random guy sitting next to me. Okay, you guys, and I hope you guys, this reason I'm telling you this story, this just, I didn't know who he was. He was just anybody. And he gets on stage like, you have 700 people? How did you do this? And I think the rest of the time I didn't like leave his side. I was just like asking him questions and trying to figure it out. But this is the thing is I watched at that event and like, it's all normal people doing normal things that built this thing. It's not superhuman. And the fact that like he happens to be one of these guys who never really sold houses or any houses, it just blew my mind, Sean. It really did. It was so
You
inspiring.
you remind me real quick before we dive into this. One of the other guys in our organization, everybody knows him. I love him to death. His name is Jeff Morrell. Jeff, like you, I invited him to an event 3 weeks after he joined. And he wasn't necessarily getting in for rev share, but when he was at the event, it was one of Brent's events, and there was about 10 people cross stage, and they'd all been in for a year to 2 years, and some were making 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 a month, and he'd been in real estate at that time like 15 years. Anyway, by the time the event was over, he went home to his wife, said, "Wow, we got to change some things." That one event. So if there's one thing before we dive into this, you guys, big events, you guys have heard big decisions are made at big events. Sometimes just getting there and seeing a lot of different people winning, sometimes you connect with somebody, you're like, oh my gosh, they're just like me. And if they did it, and you can, like Jesse, you can go up and introduce yourself. Everybody that I've ever met is very approachable to EXP. But anyway, we'll dive into this with Jesse because he has built a huge organization. And I hope he just gives some good practical things that maybe you can grab one or two of these nuggets and kind of dig in and see if it can help you start consistently attracting. So, Jesse, why don't we do this, my friend? Refresh everybody. How were you approached about EXP and what made it? I obviously RevShare was the big attractor, but how were you approached? What did you see, and what was that like when you first came on board?
Yeah, I was approached badly. I was gonna say, truly, it took me 9 months of telling, these are friends of mine. It took me 9 months of telling them no without even really looking at it or understanding it before I even took a look at it. Right. So when I say badly, I say that jokingly, but like at this point in time, we're what are we? 2026 right now. By the way, every time I say the year, I have to look up at the corner of my monitor to see what year it is. It doesn't even say it up there. I don't know why I can. Anyway, it's 2026. All right. So in 2026, I feel like most agents have been approached by someone, but probably in the wrong way by the wrong person at the wrong time. The wrong way by the wrong person at the wrong time. I mean, yes, you'll find agents who really haven't been approached much, but in general, I find most people you're talking to. And so it helps when you hear this story. Like I was approached badly too. And these are people I liked that I knew. And it didn't ruin my friendship with them. I didn't not do it. They just kept telling me to watch a video. Go watch a video. And they'd send me the video, but they wouldn't like watch it with me or tell me why. They're just like, dude, you got to look at this. And they would like send it to me and I'd click on it. It was like an hour-long video. And I'd make it like 6 minutes through and I'd shut it off. Because I was busy. I was selling houses. I had a sales team. I had a young baby. Like, right? So if you want to keep this in mind for people you're approaching, now, we could talk about whether or not watching a video still works in 2026, but if you're going to use a video, watching it with them is very helpful because if they would have just sat down and watched it with me, I would have been at EXP about 9 months earlier. Because when I finally like myself, one of my friends, another one of my friends went over, another one of my friends went over. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a look at this. When I finally started digging into it, and then I got on a friend with the guy who sent me all those videos over the months and months and months. it took about 7 minutes for him to explain it to me. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I'm in. That's great. Does that make sense, guys? I'll give one more distinction then, Sean, before you get to your next question.
Okay.
Um, I believe when we're doing agent attraction, there's really only two things that we're doing with people. We're trying to educate them on what the EXP platform is and have them understand it. We're not trying to convince them or persuade them or talk them into it. If you're pushing or convincing or persuading, you're doing it wrong. I'm guarantee Sean's told you this because he's been on a call with my group and he's told my group this. And I don't remember the language you use, but the way I say it is amateurs convince, right? Professionals sift and sort. Amateurs convince, professionals sift and sort. Do you use that same language, Sean, or how do you say that?
Not quite like that, but I look at this whole thing over the last 9 years and how much it's evolved. And today, I think, a lot of times when I do these interviews on a Monday, and I'm the same way today, it's about how connecting with an agent, creating relationship, finding out where their, hot buttons are, where they're challenged and struggled, and then trying to fulfill that and just provide value. Because, like you said, it is such a timing thing, right? I give the example. I just had a lady reach out to me last week, cold called her back in December of 23. And I had probably 3 calls with her in the last 3 years, but I've been dripping on her about every 2 to 3 weeks. I've invited her to events. I send her master. She reached out to me last weekend on a Sunday. She's at KW and she got burned by her broker. I mean, it really hurt her bad and she's out of there. I just had a Zoom with her last week. I think she's coming on probably Thursday or Friday of this week. It was just creating the relationship, providing value, staying consistent like you would with a buyer and seller. They may take 2, 3 years before they use you, but I stayed in front of her. She finally called and said, let's talk. And we got on and she just got burned by a broker that she had known for 7, 8 years and it just hurt her bad. Anyway, she's coming on board. So it's just, to me today, it's all about consistency, connect with agents, find out where their pain points are, what are their goals? Like when I'm talking to agents all the time, Jesse, when I'm talking about in 2026, what are your goals? Just say, well, I planned on this year doing about 25 transactions. How are you doing so far? Well, I've only closed about six. But Jesse, if you don't mind me, so in the next 6 months, what are your plans? What are you going to do different to get those additional 20 deals? And most of the time, they'll just start reaching for things. Well, I was thinking about, using Zillow Premier. Then they just start just trying to reach out to all this. And then I try to see if I can give them a solution, which, to help them generate more leads or get into more buyer seller conversations. So anyway, it's kind of evolved. But anyway, let's get back over to you because I'd love to know
Well, no,
what are
no.
you,
Can I ask your
go
group a
ahead.
question? I want to ask you. You
Yeah.
can come back to me in a minute. I mean, I don't matter. I'm going to say that in such a funny way. I don't mean to be like self-deprecating, but like no one cares about me. You guys are here because you want to earn revenue share. Agreed? And if I can provide information, strategy, tactics, motivation, whatever it is, inspiration, fantastic. But you just said something, Sean, that I think is really interesting. I was trying to watch everybody's face in your group. So Sean just rattled off at its core what the basic blueprint is for agent attraction. It's not rocket science. So the question is, if you're doing it, fantastic. How do we make it better? And if you're not doing it, let's just pause here and see what is getting in the way, right? Like, because generally, what Sean just rattled off, to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. That's really easy. To some of you, it might have sounded like he's juggling 17 balls at once, right? Like, I don't know where you're at in terms of your agent attraction journey when he says meet agents and start conversations. How many of you are like, I know plenty of agents. I talk to agents all the time, maybe not about recruiting, but like I talk about properties and listings and raise your hand if you're like, I talk to agents. Like I know agents. All right, they don't talk to agents. Cool. So those of you who don't talk to agents, let's start there. Maybe you don't raise your hand. This group, maybe they don't have hands. I apologize if you don't have hands. I don't mean to be offensive. Um, do uh do you guys not talk to agents because you're worried about what you're going to look like? You don't know where agents live. You're not really in sales, and so you're not organically talking to agents. Or do we want to change our opinion that we actually do talk to agents? Those of you who don't talk to agents, please no, I'm genuinely curious. Like what's getting in the way?
Yeah, let's be outspoken, you guys. Just engage with Jesse.
They
What's
don't have
keeping
to. If
you?
it's not that crew, it's okay. I'll move on. But maybe just ask themselves. Ask yourself if you're not talking to agents, what's stopping you? Do you not know what to say? Do you not know how to say it? Because the second step, he said, is when you're talking to agents, find out what their pain points are. See, I find that most agents they can talk to other people, but they really don't know how to find pain points. That's the part that starts to break down. But I saw a couple of you guys on mute. You want to chime in?
I would like to. I am really at that next point where I have got to attract some additional agents. I have two, a third one that floundered somewhat. And I think that I was reluctant because I was a newer agent. And now I've been involved and beginning to be successful for the past few years. And I feel like I have a lot to offer. I've been a mentor to several people. Those that listen to me do well. And so I do feel like I have a lot to offer, but I'm hesitant. There's something that, well, you said don't persuade, and I'm not persuading. I'm trying to offer the facts, talk about what I've been successful with at EXP, why I feel that I'm successful here, why I feel that it's the right format from a money and from a brokerage perspective. But there's something that's not working as well, because I hear these guys and they're all tremendously on the freedom team, they're all tremendously successful. So that's number one. And number two, it's almost like people are coming to them. And then the third thing is I feel like I need more to offer. And a lot of agents are looking for the proverbial leads, which I can provide some, but I'm not a lead generating machine over here, with a huge team that's got that to offer. I've just got a lot of good advice and a lot of successes to share, and I'd be there, with them and for them.
Yeah.
So I guess I come to these meetings and I listen, and I always take something away, whether it's just on production or it's on, attraction. But I'm looking for something more to be able to present to these.
Yeah, I actually know the answer for you, Tina. And so let's do this because Sean, I hope you don't mind me taking over in this direction. We'll go back to
Oh,
the
no,
so
this is for you,
because I
bro.
got something for
Please.
Tina that I think is going to resonate for others. Craig raised his hand, and Jamie. We'll do you three. We'll just go rapid fire, Craig, like a minute or two, Jamie, and then I'll tie this all together because Tina, I already wrote down. I have an answer for you that you're going to love. Okay, Craig, you'd wanted to chime in, and then we'll do Jamie, and then
Yeah, I was
we'll dive
just
in.
going to say that it took me a while to get going, and Kelly's on this call. She'll confirm that. And I think it's because we're all wired to want people to agree with us, want people to be on our side. I mean, see current politics for an example. And when you call someone and you get rejected, that tends to throw your game off, as it were. One thing that I realize is that when I talk to somebody, if they don't work out, they don't get off the phone and think about me and wonder why I bugged them or this or that. They go about their business and I am in the background, if at all. And once I
True.
got my brain kind of back to that kind of thinking where I'm just not as important to them as I think I am.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if once I got to that point, hell, I'll call anybody. And 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 I got past that point where rejection was hard. So just my own observation and why I did it.
I like it, Craig. And thank you for sharing. I truly I took notes on that too. I'm gonna about right how you look, where your focus is. We're gonna talk about that, Sean. And Jamie, what about for you? What are you talking to agents, not talking to agents? Where are you getting
Hi,
stuck?
Jesse. So I am just kind of getting back into real estate. I've had a lot going on in my life. Um, but there's so much. So Jeff Morrell is my sponsor. And he's great. There's so much information. So this is just like a
Hmm.
perspective of like new agent coming in, just like if I'm just as green can be. Haven't sold a house, haven't gotten a listing, haven't, none of the things. And so just trying to figure out in this long list of,
Mhm.
like do this, do this, do this, where do you start? Like
Mhm.
that is the biggest thing for me is there's so much information that it's overwhelming. And there's like, is there a checklist that that one can obtain to be like, start here and do this and create a funnel and let's do make it rain. And like, I mean, there's like,
Are you
I just
talking
don't know where
about
to
are you
start.
talking about for your entire business of
Like, where
EXP
do
or
I
just
even
agent
start?
attraction? But
Yeah,
just agent
don't even
attraction or
know.
everything?
I have
What?
no idea.
No, I
That's
know,
where
but
I'm at. Like,
Jamie,
Hmm.
just related to agent attraction or related to agent attraction, selling houses, your entire business, everything?
Just, I guess, everything. I
All
just
right.
don't even know where to start.
Perfect.
Mm.
Okay, so Sean, because we got people in all different places here.
Yeah,
Let's give if you have a resource inside your crew for Jamie or at EXP, okay, Kelly's nodding her head. Do you want to share that? Because that's probably the quickest answer. So if
yeah,
anyone's in the same position of Jamie, we're gonna give you Kelly's gonna give you the resource here because there
yeah,
is a lot at EXP, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot inside the Freedom Team, and there's a lot inside different organizations. So Kelly, I saw her nodding her head. She's got
yeah.
it. She got a checklist for you
We
or
got
a
to check
blueprint or
Thank
what it
you.
is. All
Yeah.
right, fantastic. Okay, now let's go to Tina and Craig. That actually had some overlap here. Now, Sean, I'm going to test your memory, but I don't think you'll remember the moment, but I bet you've said this before. I had Sean on my group's call a couple times, right? Because Sean and I have friendship and highly respect how he operates. And Sean came in and he was talking about his philosophy of when he's talking to agents about about EXP. And he doesn't even really like talk EXP, but he made a comment. He said, I really feel like I'm blessing other agents' lives when I get this opportunity in front of them. Do you still feel like Sean, do you remember saying that?
100%. But if I can add to that, but it's
Please.
almost like Jamie, what you're saying, they have to engage. I have to help put them on a path, but I do know if they come over.
Oh, we lost Sean. You got muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going
Okay.
to say, yes, definitely feel that same way. They just need to engage, right? If as long as they do the things in the path we put them on, Jamie, and we have a path for you, you will win. And then we're all here to help answer questions along the way. But I absolutely feel that way, Jesse, because I've seen so many people's lives changed at EXP, and you just don't hear that
Yeah.
at other brokerages.
Correct. And the thing that I want to point out, and this Tina and Craig, this is going to tie into you, and anyone who feels like Tina and Craig, right? Like they don't have enough to offer. When Sean says he feels like he's blessing their lives, it's not about Sean getting blessings, it's about the other agent. And so please don't take this the wrong way, Tina, but this is going to take I hope this is going to take the pressure off. You guys see what I have written on the screen here? Can you read that?
I.
I, the most, if you go back and listen to the transcript and the recording, Tina, the most word you said the most often was I in your description. I need things to offer. I have this. I like this is the biggest shift. And I think also for Craig, who was talking about, how he feels when he talks to agents in agent attraction. And this is not a value judgment on you, Tino, or anyone. You're bold enough to say it, so I'm not judging you because everyone has this. We're all focused on ourselves. We're all worried about how we look, what people are going to think of us. We're all worried about what we have to offer other people. Here's the cool thing about EXP, and I hope this is a shift that all of you can make just like this. It's not about you. You don't have to offer anything. There's so much that EXP offers, the Freedom Team, like there's so much here. For me, I am a good coach of real estate agents. I've done it for years, but I also never coach agents when it comes to like when I'm trying to directly attract them. I don't coach them because that's not duplicatable. I'm a connector. I plug them into other resources and other people and let them do the heavy lifting. Does that make sense? So someone could join day one. In fact, I've got a recording on my site. I've got multiple ones because we always record these interviews just like Sean does. I got a guy, Sean, who was brand new to EXP. Okay. He came back, he joined EXP. He was an agent on a team. Any agents on teams here? Anyone do we have any team agents here? No, most of you solo agents. Okay.
Mm.
No, solo agents. All right. This guy was an agent on a team. It's not good or bad. I'm not saying they're better or worse, but like mostly agents on teams don't do a lot of attraction. They're focused on, right? That's the stereotype. He came in his first year at EXP, he sold 20 plus houses and attracted 10 people because he just followed a process. And he never sold a house. He was a missionary coming from back. He was on a mission. I forget where he came back from, but he was coming back from being missionary work for 10 years. He came back, got a real estate license, had a family, had to feed him, and he just was connecting him up with his resources in EXP. Does that help at all, Tina? Thinking about shifting that focus of like it we don't need to pick up anything else. We need a process. That's what I think we should talk about, Sean, is like you rattle off 4 steps and it was like I know people have heard them a bunch, but I heard the genius in those 4 things and I want to break down this process. So if you guys are going to get attached to anything, get attached to the process, which helps you detach from the outcome. If you're attached to a process, meet people, talk about them, find out their hopes, dreams, and goals, plug them in the resources, right? That's a really simple process. it takes the focus off of you. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Sean, back to you and whatever question you want to ask. But I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. Well, let's just go back to you guys right now for a minute that just asked the questions. Dig in further. Jamie, you'll get some stuff from Kelly, and obviously you can jump on a Zoom with Jeff. And Jeff, we do have a checklist according to whether you're newer, you're kind of there in the middle, or you're in advance trying to go to the next level from 20 to 40 deals. So we do have a roadmap for all that. And the same with the traction. But anyway, thank you for bringing that all back up. Just those four easy steps. I want you guys right now. I can ask Jesse some questions, but I love this. Somebody just asked questions directly to Jesse. If you were to pick up the phone today and you were to call an agent you did a deal with on the other side of on the other side of a transaction, what would you say? Ask anything that right now has come to your mind going, "Wow,
Well,
how would
well,
Jesse do this?"
Don's got a question. See, and by the way, guys, this is how I built an org. Like, I know a little how Sean built. I we have a lot of overlap, but the way that I built to almost 2,000 people in my group is it's duplicatable processes, right? And it's simple, easy steps that can be repeated at scale. So Don just said, can we review the four steps again? Right? Do you have the way that you break down four steps, or do you want me to do that, Sean?
Go ahead. Go ahead,
All
Jesse.
right. All right. So here I got a visual. This will help for you guys. All right. So am I sharing the right screen? You guys see that?
Yep. Yep.
All right. So four-step framework. Number one, we use a conversation starter, right? In my crew, and I'm happy to share it with you. I started using Sean. I haven't really been spreading it around because I haven't tested it enough to really like be like, this is the new thing, like do this. But we've been using it since May, and it's working pretty good, man. So we're using a conversation starter using this. I made this little short video on the five phases of an agent's career.
Okay.
It's really a fun. It doesn't matter what you use though. It doesn't have to be this video. It's anything that you could use that's going to start a conversation going. And I like this video because it talks about the phases that an agent goes through, which allows them to self-diagnose where they're at and what pain points they have. Because that's been one of my biggest challenges is teaching people how to find agents' pain points. Sean can do it in his sleep. I can do it in my sleep. Some of you are really good at it. Some of you, you could talk to agents for weeks and never get to where their pain points are. I mean, I don't know why. It's just like it's so. I'm using this video to kind of short circuit that. But then once you figure out what's important to them, then you got to reply with some type of resource, right? In our crew, we're using this little video called the Blueprint. Again, I'm not trying to hide these things. I'll show you what they all are. I'm an open book. But it doesn't matter what resource you plug them into. You could invite them to a team meeting, to a Zoom, to a training, to a whatever. You got to give them some resource, right? Step one is diagnosis. Step two is the prescription. Whatever their pain point is, we give them something that's going to help them, right? Then step three, I think this is my favorite one because all you do here, this is all leverage. We used to call it three-way call or discovery call or validation call. What do you guys call it in your group, Sean?
Yeah. I know the joke about the three-way call. It's still three-way call in our group
Yeah,
to
I
this
mean,
day.
but it was up until May,
Yeah.
up until 4 months ago in my group too. I just decided I don't like the term three-way call. I don't want to ever use it again. So we renamed it the partner intro, right? Because if you say to someone who's not an agent and by mistake, like hopefully only the three-way call is like an internal term, but if you ever
Yeah.
say it to someone else, they're like, what? Huh? I don't get it, right? So if I say, hey, can I introduce you to my partner? Sure. So, right, we start a conversation and diagnose them. We send them a resource, that's the prescription. And if they like that, then we plug them in to our partner who's going to do the heavy lifting. From there, the partner leads that call and comes to the alignment. That's right. Do you want to explore this further? Do you already know it's a fit? And then we always do this thing called BAM FAM. Do you guys train on BAM FAM in your group? Do you guys know that
No, we've
term?
talked about it. It's probably been a little while, but book a meeting from a meeting.
But yeah, so me and my crew, by the way, BAM FAM is drilled into their brains. Like they are tired of hearing BAM FAM, although it's really pretty nice to it's fun to say, so no one ever really gets tired. Everybody, even if you're on mute, say it right now. Say BAM FAM, BAM FAM.
Man.
Bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. Book a meeting from a meeting. If you remember nothing else about this, if you're like Jamie, and you're like, man, I am overwhelmed. Okay. Start a conversation, plug them into a resource that helps them get what they're looking for, right? Introduce them to your business partner. And then at the end of that, your leader, if they don't do it, you should do it. But your leader, whoever does it, should know this. They're going to bam, fam. They're going to book another meeting and just keep booking meetings until we either figure out if it's a fit for them or not. Because we're never pressuring them. We're educating them and having them understand, right? Having them understand what EXP is. Then they get to choose if it's a fit. Craig, you want to know if you can have it? Absolutely, I'll give that to you. Happy to. I'm an open book, man. I truly like I just haven't tested this thing, like the specific videos. I'm a big fan of testing it before you roll it out to thousands of people. So it initial test since May looks like it's crushing it. The analytics on this video and the watch time and it's been booking a lot of partner intros for us. So, but yes, happy to give it to you.
No
Questions
deal.
on that before I drop that link into the chat? Okay. So then here is the agentcollective.com/playbook. And by the way, I'm not selling anything. I don't have coaching. I have nothing. Like this is just an internal document we use in my organization. And I'm more than happy to share it with you guys. So if you go to the agentcollective.com/playbook, the agentcollective.com/playbook, make sure I typed it right. Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
going to take you guys to this page, but don't look at it now. We got this call's an hour long, right, Sean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I got to hold your attention for 26 more minutes, or else that's why I
Yeah.
always hate putting links in too early in the chat. But like you have all this, so I just want to show you what it is. It comes to this page with a little 5-minute video of how to use the playbook, literally 5 minutes long, right? And then if you scroll down to the bottom, here's this link to download that document, Craig. It's part of a much longer PDF, but it's right here. You can click to download it. You can, if you the videos it's talking about the 5 phases of an agent's career, the blueprint video, like everything's all on this page. This is how my crew's been. We only started this in May, but it's been working pretty well. So I will continue testing and tweaking it once I know for certain, like, yeah, this is it, man. But you guys, the reason I'm telling you, some of you might be looking for step by step. Here's another step by step tactical thing, and you tweak it, you use it, make it better, tell me how it's working, just keep me in the loop. Cool?
Yeah. So you're using it, Jesse, with some of the agents in your group who are just getting started with the traction. They're starting to plug in and kind of follow that process.
Yeah, I actually used it more to relaunch people because it would have been easier if I took brand new people to EXP and just gave them this and said, just take this, watch this, because I'm taking people who've been here at EXP for a year, 2 or 3 years, and we're relaunching them because they haven't had enough traction or didn't quite get it. And
Mm.
it's harder because they have all these other preconceived notions and I won't say bad habits, but like I have a guy in my group who he spent a year, like he's a high level team leader, sells a lot of houses, and he spent a year doing agent attraction. They hired a coach, not with our organization, not with your organization. He's a guy who's at EXP whose name I will not name, but I'm not a fan of his training. Okay. It's a very much throw it against the wall and see what sticks. I call that spaghetti training in sales. Anyone ever had the spaghetti method of training? You're like, you talk to
Mhm.
enough people, you're gonna get success. I'm like, dude, that's not a strategy. That's just a recipe for burnout. Anyway, I kept my
Right.
mouth shut because this guy did a really good job of getting everyone into action. And this gentleman who's in my group, um, he's just a glutton for punishment. Like truly, like most people would have given up. And he said, yeah, most people who were part of the coaching group, they quit within a month. He did it for a year, just dialing and talking to strangers and getting the phone slammed down on him. And just like, anyway, after a year, he'd sponsored 4 people, 3 of which were on his sales team, which to me isn't really that doesn't count. That's like you got some leads, you're gonna go, right? You would have sponsored him anyway. After a year, he sponsored 1 person of like a lot of effort. So he started doing this new thing. I'm like, dude, let's change everything. I'm like, go make a new list of people. Step one, Jamie, or whoever asked the 4 steps, it's not on that list, but step one is always make a list of people. You got to have a list to work from in any sales situation. All right. So you make a list of people. I had to make a new list of people. Went back, even though people had talked to a year before, two before. I said, we're going to start sending out 15 minutes a day. That's all I need. 15 minutes a day. Copy and paste this message, send this text out talking about this 5 phases video. It's all in the playbook. He started doing it. I'm telling you, within the first week, he had me on with more people doing these partner Zooms than he had in like an entire year. Okay. Within 2 weeks, we had people that like so he just started in May and he's got one guy who's a really influential person in his town who actually would have joined EXP with him already, but that person has to wait till September because they had left EXP and are trying to come back with a new sponsor. They didn't realize they hadn't been gone for a year. So that person's ready. He's got a team of 5 that we're sorting out just a little an issue that this team of 5 does not have an independent contractor agreement with their previous brokerage,
Wow.
small mom and pop brokerage. And so this guy's like, dude, if I leave, I'm going to lose all my listings and everything because I got no. I'm like, no, you're going to probably keep everything anyway. So he's talking to an attorney to verify what happens because he has no I think his broker is in a huge violation for having this guy there for years without an independent contractor agreement. But we'll see what the attorneys say on that one. We just don't want to put him in a bad position. But he has a team of five ready to come over now. This is just since May. And what are we, July 27th now? And his biggest problem was his pipeline got so full of like these conversations that he got overloaded. So now I'm like, okay, now I got to figure out how to like structure this and train it better because he literally has, he's like, I sent the video to 150 people. What do I do now? I'm like, oh man, like now we need to like organize this and keep it moving forward. But does that make sense? Like
So so you definitely caught my attention with that. So you've got a text message that's kind of but can you just share that quick text? I'm
yeah,
curious
yeah,
what it is to see
yeah,
it. And this
yeah,
could
yeah,
just be an agent that you know, you've done a deal with, you met at an event. It's just somebody you know, an agent,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So however well you know them, it doesn't matter, right? Like I'm a relationship guy. I don't believe in cold vomiting EXP on anybody. So I think you need a little bit of a relationship, but you could have met him at an open house. You could have met him in a caravan. You could have met him for 5 minutes. Most people at EXP spend way too long developing relationships for months and months and months. And they're like, I'm doing agent attraction. I'm going to lunch and I'm doing all these things. And no, all you're doing is you're getting fat because you're eating lots of food. And you're not actually talking to anybody at anything. Okay. Like I don't, again, it's not throw it against the wall and see what sticks, but you just need a little relationship.
Mm.
Okay. And then you want to start to see where they're at. By the way, that's the only thing out of my entire bio that I had that was a superpower coming in here was I knew a lot of agents. I had a lot of relationships. That's the only thing out of my entire bio that mattered because that allowed me to go faster because like Sean had to go build relationships with agents. I already
Hmm.
had them. But after that, we were all the same. I didn't know how to recruit. So here's the math on this. We have found, and I created this playbook before I even had this much data, but this is pretty much held up. If you're going to send out 10 texts, right? I'll show you the text in a minute. This 5 phases video, and you're going to text it to 10 agents you know. Five of them are not going to reply. That's normal. Okay. You're not going to get response from everyone. And it's not because of you. It's because they're busy, because they're focused on themselves. It's not a judgment on you at all. You're not even
Hmm.
talking about you. Okay. Three of them are going to be like, no, I'm good. We're too busy to watch, whatever it is. Like they won't even watch it. Two of them will say, yeah, 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 send me the video. And they'll watch it and they'll be like, wow, that's exactly how I feel. Okay. That's about the math we're seeing. And if you know agents really well, you have good relationships, you'll get more than two people to watch it because your relationship capital will create what will cause you. But if you just people you
Yeah.
know from deals in the past, whatever, like that's about the math. Here's the text that we're sending out. So I'm mainly with people I know teaching people to use this one, but I can show you in a minute what the kind of general one is if you don't, for most people, if you don't really know them that well. But this one right here, let me zoom this in. So, hey, Sean, I just saw a 3.5 minute video that broke down the 5 phases of an agent's career. It was actually pretty spot on and made me think of you. If I sent it over, would you open to watching it and tell me which phase you're in?
I like it. Yeah.
Hard ask, right? It's 3.5 minutes, super short. Like,
Yeah, it's good.
okay.
Okay.
And if you guys want to watch the video now, otherwise I'll send it to you later. Like it's 3.5 minutes long. The
Yeah.
video has zero mentions of EXP. Zero.
Anybody want to see it right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's play it right
Yeah.
now.
All right, let's do it. Let me pull it up. And by the way, guys, this is again, let's see, hold on, it's like 5 phases video. All right, pull it up here. This is not me telling you you need to switch everything you're doing, although if you want to use this, you're more than welcome to. This is more just about um, you got to have a system, right? And I found that the system we had, sorry, 5 phases. There we go. Let's pull up the link. I can't multitask and talk. Um, you need some sort of system that's duplicatable because it takes the pressure off and it takes the thinking off of you. And I need to provide this. Again, Tina, I'm coming back to you because what you said, there are so many agents that feel exactly like you, especially the more you sell. Like or if you don't sell, you're like, I don't have enough to offer. But if you do sell a lot, you're like, well, I should pour in and give them all. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the other agent. Okay. It's about the other agent. So I'll play this video. Oh, where's the anyway, I have a horizontal like full screen version that I use when I'm on presentations like this, but I'll play the vertical one. I pull up this is the one that it'll look kind of funny on some of your screens because this is meant for cell phones, but I'll play it right now. Can you guys hear that okay?
Yep.
Let's get real for a second. Every single real estate agent is stuck in one of five distinct career phases. Do you know which one you're in? If you're feeling broke, burnt out, or just bored, it's because you don't know which phase you're in or how to escape it. Today, we're not just going to figure out exactly where you are right now, we're going to talk about the paradigm shifts required to break through the next level. Stick around because if you make it to phase 5, you stop trading time for money entirely. All right, let's dive in. Phase 1, generating cash. This phase is all about survival. If you aren't making at least $100,000 per year yet, you're probably right here. You wake up every day asking, where's my next deal coming from? The fix to graduate from phase 1 could just work harder, but there's only so many hours in the week. You might need a strategy shift. What you definitely need is an environment that actively feeds your pipeline and provides step-by-step mentorship. And if you can find an environment that also helps you keep more of your own commission in your pocket instead of paying a massive split, then you can reinvest that money into your business and get out of phase 1 more quickly. Phase 2, buying back your time. So you crack the code. You're making $200,000, $300,000, maybe $500,000 a year. But there's a catch. You have absolutely no life. You're working evenings and weekends. You're missing family dinners. In phase 2, money isn't the problem. Time is. The fix? You need leverage. When you have the right processes and systems, you can sell the exact same number of houses while working 15 to 20 hours less a week. Finding the right training and guidance on these systems, that's critical. Most agents in this phase, they need to plug into a modern cloud-based environment where your CRM handles your conversions and you have instant live support without ever having to drive into a physical office. That's how you sell more houses in less time. Phase 3, true freedom. You have cash and you have your time back. Now we enter phase 3, true freedom. This is the point where you don't have to work anymore. You sell houses because you want to. The fix? Most agents never reach this phase because they're only as good as their last commission check. Some agents bounce back and forth between phase 1 and phase 2 for their entire career. To reach true freedom, you have to find a model where you can earn leveraged income, not just trading your time for money. If your goal is freedom, you need a model where you're earning actual equity in the company you're helping build just by doing your normal daily business. What you need is to build a wealth safety net. That's how you reach true freedom. Phase 4, building your legacy. Once your own freedom is secured, your mindset shifts. You get bored just making money for yourself. You want to make an impact and build a legacy. The fix? You don't have to quit selling houses, but you need a vehicle that rewards you for helping others. Imagine building a massive residual income stream just as a natural byproduct of doing real estate and helping the agents you bump into. When your active business overflows into a leveraged residual income bucket, your entire life changes. Phase 5, helping others build their legacy. This is the peak of the mountain. You've built your legacy, your family's set for generations, and now your only goal is external. Imagine being able to say, my goal is to help 100 other people get exactly what I have. When you help someone behind you on the curve reach financial freedom, your name lives on long past your real estate career. So be honest with yourself. Which phase are you currently stuck in? Are you chasing cash, begging for time, seeking freedom, or ready to build legacy? The agent who shared this video with you, they sent it because they understand how to break through these phases and they want to see you win too. Text them right now. Tell them which phase you're in. Ask them exactly how they found their leverage.
Good stuff, Jesse. Good stuff.
That's it. So go ahead, John.
So let's go down to the next step. I'm sure everybody's wondering right now.
Mhm.
So the agent texts me back. Yeah, I mean, I'm stuck chasing cash. And so what
Yep.
did they, so an agent on your group, they get that response back. Do they just set up a three-way call with you? What's that next step when somebody
Yep.
responds?
Yep. So put back the playbook here. All right. So when you get the response, we got to decide which track they're going to go down. I would love to send everybody right to that partner Zoom, but because it doesn't break down its scale, and once you have if you have too many of those. So I believe you should send 80% of the people to watch a second video that's actually more about EXP. Still in a subtle way, but like you still got like if you go straight to, by the way, we started off doing this where everyone just went straight to, like, they watch a video, they say they're in phase 1, they say, cool, let me get you on a call with one of my partners. And it's really effective. The challenge there is you need enough people that are trained to lead those calls that have the bandwidth to do them. And it starts to break down at scale, right?
Yeah.
So if someone is in, see, this is our VIP fast track. if someone is a heavy hitter, a team leader, a close friend, or if they're little like if like you send that video, like, is this a recruitment thing? I don't give them another video. I don't want to video them to death. Okay. They go straight to a partner Zoom, right? If they're already in phase three or they're a team leader or whatever, like anyone you want can go there. But the majority of people, if they're just like, I'm just getting started, I'm in phase one, man, I'm grinding, right? Or like I'm working 24/7, we're going to send them to a second video because I want to educate them on their own. I want to sift and sort before we just, because not everyone's ready to make a switch. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send them this text. And again, I'm going quickly through this. I, uh, I train this week after week in my crew. We're doing an in-person event. If any, I'm well happy to invite you guys. Really, it's for my organization, but it's not a moneymaker thing. But I'm happy to give you guys the info if you want to come to San Diego in September to come hang out with our crew. This is what we've been training on because it's working. So you do a validation bridge, right? You acknowledge the phase they're in, right? We bridge the gap. We say, hey, if I sent you this video, would you watch it? Remember the whole triple commit thing, Sean? You know that term, the triple commit?
Yep.
Don't ever send a video to someone without them agreeing that they're going to watch it, or else you go into chase mode. You're like, did you watch my video? Did you watch my video? Did you watch my video? No. It's like, hey, if I sent you this thing, would you want to check it out? Sure. Fantastic. Right? It's about 9 minutes long. How long do you need to watch it? I need a week. Okay, fantastic. So if I call you next week or text you next week, you'll for sure have watched it by then. We've now asked them 3 times they've committed to it. You got a much higher likelihood they'll actually watch it. Okay. That's not the first video. The first video is more of a casual thing, right? It's 3.5 minutes long. I don't need a triple commit on it. It feels really weird and awkward. If out of nowhere you're like, hey, you want to watch this video in the 5 phases? But once they get into our process, we're going to make sure we're not just sending them random videos that they don't want to watch. Okay.
Yeah.
So we send them this video. I'll give you cut and paste. All right. If they say, you said your example was, hold on. Uh,
I think where most agents are, they're just chasing cash. Most agents I talk to are not doing enough
okay.
action.
Yeah. So I actually, it's funny enough, I'm looking at these scenarios. I don't even have one written for phase one people because phase one people are usually so open to anything when they're chasing cash. They're like, I'll take whatever resource you got.
Yeah.
So truly, if someone's like, I'm struggling, I'm just trying to get deals going, be like, man, we got an incredible, like this one's written for, I'm in phase two. I think it works for what you just said as well. Someone just says, man, I'm struggling. I'm just trying to make it have money. I'm in phase one. I completely get it. Typically, breaking out of that phase is the hardest part. I think that works just the same. Agreed, Sean?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. My business partner put together a 9 minute blueprint that shows exactly how to get your time back. In this case, I would just change that sentence that says, my business partner put together a 9 minute blueprint that shows exactly how to make the money you need to make. Are you open to me dropping you the link? If someone's really struggling, they're
Yeah.
probably going to say yes to that. And if not, they weren't open anyway, or they don't feel for whatever reason. Like, and I'm not going to try to oversell it. I'm going to move on. If they want help, great.
I think the key words you said for everybody is sift and sort. You because a lot when you go, you send that to 10 people and you're thinking, oh my gosh, only one or two respond, but it's not the right time for them, or they're not open, or you just caught them, or when they're just, crazy busy. It's sift
Yeah,
and sort. So go
yeah.
ahead.
And it doesn't mean you can't come back to them if you know them well 90 days later.
Yeah.
And Craig just asked, is that video in the playbook? It's that video is not in the playbook, but it's on the page I gave you to download the playbook. It's all on the same page. So that page I gave you is kind of the landing page for where that playbook lives for our crew. So this is a training video on how to use the playbook. And if you scroll down, here's how to download the playbook. And here's the video I just played you is right here, 5 Phases of an Agent's Career.
Okay. And then
And then
what is your
here's the
what?
next step. Here's the blueprint video. This is the next step video. This one,
Okay.
by the way, I love this one. And any of you guys video marketers, any of you do a lot of like video and do marketing on videos? Anyone do much on video?
I mean, I
Okay.
put
Then
stuff
I'll
up.
keep it real service level. I won't get too nitty-gritty. But when you do video marketing, one of the important metrics you want to look at is retention time. How long people who start watching the video actually watch it for? Do they jump off in 10 seconds? Do they jump off and like, do they watch the whole thing? That video I just played you has some of the best analytics and retention I've ever seen. Like we have a little drop off at the beginning, but if people like once people start watching it, they watch the entire thing. It's wild. Okay.
Hmm.
So the second video, this blueprint video, I'm using a video from Russ Lagan, one of our VPs, that I'm actually reshooting this Friday because it's decent, but it's a little too heavy-handed with EXP. Because if you watch that first video, there's no mention of EXP. And if the second video hammers them over the head with EXP, I'm finding it's hurting conversion. So we're reshooting it to still sell EXP, still talk EXP, but it's going to be more subtle in the way we
Mm,
approach it. Shooting it Friday, I'll have it done in another give me a couple weeks to a month of post production. I'll give you guys that one too.
awesome.
Jamie, question?
Just to kind of circle back on the chat, I was just making notes and it was on the chat, it was the 4 steps.
Hmm.
What are
You want to
they?
know what the 4 steps are?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll put it back up here. Hold on. And by the way, even if everything I just showed you with this video and the text and everything, you're like, that's too much. Like, I don't get it, or like, I got my method, it's already working. I don't care what you do. I just want you to get into action. Sean does too. Okay. So, Jamie, here's the 4 steps because this is the most important thing of everything I've showed you is if you can break it down to 4 simple steps, now you can start to feel comfortable with this. Step one is the conversation starter. You got to start some conversations. I guess step zero is make a list of people because if you don't have a list, go right. So that's actually part of Sean. We do that. We do a launch call. Um, this thing here. Do you do launch calls with new people when they join?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Sean's got a really strong network marketing background. That's like that was I didn't know anything about network marketing or recruiting, believe it or not. I really didn't. I've obsessively learned all this stuff, but like we use this thing and I'm actually rebuilding this page, so this will look later in the next version of the playbook. But after we talk about their why, we talk about the how, right? This Jamie, we're gonna have people make their list of their first 10 people. Like if I have someone brand new to EXP who says, I want to do agent attraction, I'm gonna spend 15 minutes on a call with them. And part of that 15 minutes is I'm gonna literally have them write down 10 people that they know in real estate. And then I'm gonna have them send their very first text message before they get off the Zoom with me. Because if you can get someone into action right away, then if we have any leaders here that already have some people in their group, you want to get people into action immediately and kind of break that ice. And then once they get started, they find, oh, it's not that scary. Oh, and they start getting responses, and then they're more likely to keep going. Does that make sense, Jamie? So make a list of people. That's step zero. You got to have at least 10. I prefer 50 or even 100. But if you're new to real estate, you can find 10 names, you know? Okay. And then you're going to start a conversation, and then we're going to send them a resource that's going to relate to whatever their pain point was.
So while we're waiting on that 9-minute blueprint for you to reshoot, is Russ's in that
Oh
playbook?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
Russ is in the playbook. And
Uh,
you have you ever watched Russ do I got the 5 phases of an agent's career from Russ. Have
yeah,
you
I
ever
don't know
watched
if
how
I've
Russ
seen
presents
it.
EXP?
The moment you said the 9-minute, I was thinking of the company's 9-minute, but
Yeah,
it's
so,
not.
so
It's Russ's. No, I've never seen it. So
so
I'm
so
kind
so
of
so
teasing.
check out this
Maybe I
one.
have and don't realize maybe it was
Here,
why.
I won't play the whole thing, but tell me if you've seen this one.
Almost
Okay.
everybody will fit somewhere on this curve that I built. Okay. You're either in phase one, two, three, four, or five across the board. By the way, if you're not in real estate, you're probably in one of these phases also, if you're in the work world, right? The first phase in most people's business is I need to generate cash. Almost everything I'm doing is how do I make it?
Have you seen him do this one yet?
No. Uh-uh.
Okay, so that links in the playbook, and so this whole system I got from Russ. I didn't make it up. I put together different pieces and kind of made it our own. But Russ has been doing this for years. If you get someone on a call, like I get all my high level team leaders before Russ changed jobs and now he's in charge of training. But when he was just doing sorry, I'm getting blinded here. When he was just doing recruitment, he was my number one go-to from the corporate side. If I had a team leader or a high producer, someone that I wanted to get corporate in front of,
Yeah.
I'd go to Russ because I love his style. He's high energy, he's fun, but he would always do the same thing. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I just walking through the 5 phases. And then he finds out where they are in the curve and he shows them how to connect the dots, right? And there's this concept called gap selling. I know I got 3 minutes. I can do this in 30 seconds. Has anyone heard of gap selling? Okay. So Russ taught me this. Most salespeople, and by the way, think about this, those of you who sell houses apply it to buyers and sellers. I do it to recruitment. Most salespeople, we believe our job is to solve people's problems. You guys agree with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Gap selling, and Russ will tell you, you're kind of right, but you do it way too soon. Okay. What gap selling is if someone's here and they want to go here, instead of telling them how to solve their problem, we want to widen that gap as much as possible first. We want to show them all the pitfalls between here and here, all the challenges, how hard it's going to be. And then once we really make that pain as big as possible, we say, hey, by the way, we can be the bridge to help you get there. Let me show you how you can do it easier. Does that make sense? It's all we're
Yeah.
doing at EXP. It's all we're doing is helping people solve their challenges. But sometimes we're too soon to like vomit all our resources when they're not even ready for them yet.
No, all good.
I've
E-
stu I've stunned them into silence.
Yeah.
I've stunned them into silence.
No, you've given us so much information. We're processing it all. We super
I,
appreciate everything you've done.
I,
And your
I,
energy is amazingly contagious, by the way.
Thanks, Don. I was kidding. I know I stunned you to silence. That's why I was even hesitant to go into the blueprint because truly, that's something that I train on like a little piece each week, and it's not something I try to show in the context of an hour. So here's what I want you to take away with. By the way, and Sean, I imagine this is not a moneymaker thing, like, but like you're fine with me giving the link to my event I'm doing in September for
I
people.
was just getting ready to ask you for it. I'm gonna see if
Okay.
I can squeeze it in. I got 3 events I'm going to in September. So when is this?
It's September 5th, September 4th, sorry, September 15th. September 15th in San Diego, theagentcollective.com/AA mastery. There's the link, and that will take you to a web page that looks like this. Theagentcollective.com/AA mastery. Um, don't blast this out to a lot of people. It's really like I'm like this really is for my own revenue share group. Like it's not
Okay.
this is not a huge moneymaker. I think general
Yeah.
admission tickets like 149 bucks. But I'm happy to if I come in to talk to a group, like I'm happy to invite you guys and be part of it. But we're going to spend an entire day going over this playbook, and every speaker on stage, except for me, will be someone who has like 20 people in their group, 40 people in their group, 50 people in their group, 100 people in their group. Not these like I love the whales. But like I want someone that's one or two steps ahead of you that can show
Yeah.
you, oh, they did it, you can do it too. Like it's so much more relatable. Me and
Exactly.
Sean, you guys can't relate. No offense to us, man, but you can't relate to us
Yeah.
anymore. It's like it's hard to wrap your mind around. Like I'll have 1,000 people someday. You will,
Yeah.
like you will. Just keep going at it, okay? But
Yeah.
like you got to look at the next step ahead of you.
Yeah. It's interesting you said that. I've spent probably the last few months for those that have been on here, a lot of people between that 200 and 400 range. Yeah, because exactly what you said. People are like getting on with 4,800. They're like, what? I'm just
Dude,
trying to get my
dude,
first two or three.
dude,
Yeah.
get some people on. I got people in my crew if you want to interview, but people with like 20, 30, 40. Like I think those are the most inspiring because they're
Yeah.
just one or two steps ahead of where most of you are.
Yeah. Especially if they've done it in the last like 12 to 18 months. They're engaged
Correct.
right now and they're doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Now, I'd love to maybe interview a couple of those with some of those. Yeah, because some people are
Yeah.
just trying to get out of the gate. Because guys, you get to 20, 30, 40 agents, you can be making a couple thousand a month. I mean, it's, especially if these are agents that are productive and we're helping them grow their production. But Jesse, this is awesome, man. I sincerely appreciate you sharing that playbook. I know you haven't opened this up for the company. So all those of you, feel free to kind of look deeper into it. Look forward to you coming out with that other video.
Yeah.
We can check out Russ's right now. That's not saying it wouldn't work, you guys. He's just
Oh
saying
no,
that
it's
sometimes,
working.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's working. I'm just a freak when it comes to making things like optimizing things and like it's not
yeah,
quite right yet. That's why again I'm not pitching this to the whole company. Be like everyone should do this. This is it. Like it's working in my crew, but
yeah.
it's nothing brand new. It's the same concepts we've been doing for years. Start conversations, provide resources. The same thing Sean said in the first 30 seconds of this call. Everyone, all right, you got this. You've got an
But
amazing
this
leader.
makes it, I hope, way easier for all of you. If you didn't have to pick up the phone and call, you
Yeah.
could just shoot. And again, you're sifting and sorting. You're going to come across that one. You run the moment you shot it to them, they're like, well, yeah, sure, I'd watch 3 minute video if it could potentially help me, right? If they're at a position where they need help. So this was great, Jesse. I sincerely appreciate you. I'll be coming back from an event on the 15th. I'm going to one in
Ah,
Canada.
no
Um,
worries, man.
so would
No
you be
worries at
doing
all.
another one if you get some success for
I,
that?
I
Let me
will. I
know.
will. Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. Like we only have this one booked, but I'm planning to do 3 to 4 of these in different cities in 2027. This is my new.
Awesome.
I'm just testing and then scaling and making bigger. But this is how I'm going to grow my organization going forward. I'm pretty
Yeah.
committed. This seems like
Yeah.
it's working really well and it's very
Yeah.
duplicatable.
And I'll tell you this, guys, to be uh, just straight up front and myself, I'm not one to create systems like you're doing, but you give me a system and I will follow it. Like when I first got started, Rob Flick and Gene Frederick, they gave me the system, told me what to say. Here was my
Yeah.
script. I just did it. So I'm looking at what you're doing now. I'll go try it. I'll try it with a hundred
That's
agents.
why
You
I
know?
shared it, dude. Because I'm like, I know you'll try it. And you'll tell me what works and make it better. But like, I just I love it, Sean. Keep me posted, man. I appreciate it.
You got it. You got it. Thank you so much for jumping on. You guys, thank you for jumping on camera. All and everybody that attended, thank you. Feel free to grab this playbook. We can all chat about it from time to time, and let's give
Yeah.
some feedback to Jesse, or feel free to give it to me, and I'll give it to Jesse, however you want to do that. But Jesse, thank you, brother. Sincerely appreciate it. Are you going to Dallas by chance this
Oh
weekend?
yeah. Oh
Okay.
wait, no, this weekend? No, I won't be in Dallas this weekend.
Okay. I'll be at the
No,
building. Are
sorry.
you going to Charlotte?
I'm going to Charlotte. I'll be in Charlotte
Okay.
in September. Yep,
Cool.
absolutely.
I will see you there in Charlotte. You guys,
All
thank
right.
you for jumping on. Everybody, have a fantastic week, and hope to see you guys tomorrow on the training. Thanks again,
Thanks for having me,
Jesse.
Sean. Bye,
Thanks,
Appreciate it,
guys.
brother.
everybody.
All right. Bye bye.